characters हैं Bassanio and subplot main characters हैं. Don't say it in this order. Say boyfriend girlfriend order. Right. Start reading, beta.
One of the major problems of this technique is to introduce the Bassanio and his courtship of Portia, which will constitute the major romantic plot and also set the Bond story in motion.
What is the Bond story? ट्यूशन बुक में एक लाइन छोड़ के लिखो बॉन्ड स्टोरी मैं डिक्टेट करती हूँ. Bassanio has asked for $3,000 ducats from Shylock which will be returned by Antonio within 3 months. Not will be returned, make it should be returned. You have put a full stop. After that, Shylock demands a bond to be signed that if Antonio is unable to return 3,000 ducats within the stipulated time of 3 months, then Shylock will cut off a pound of flesh from Antonio's body. Five-minute break. Shall we continue? On page number 16, we have 3 passages. You will do that for homework. So one of the major purposes of this opening scene is to introduce Bassanio and his courtship of Portia, which will constitute the major romantic plot and also set the bomb story. I have told you the bomb story in motion. Antonio's question concerning Bassanio's courtship of Portia is turned aside by Bassanio. He goes directly to the question of money in order that the basis of the bomb story can be laid. Some critics have seen in Bassanio's speeches some evidence of a character that is extremely careless of his money and very casual with his obligations. Underline. Bassanio's speeches some evidence of a character that is extremely careless of his money and very casual about his obligations. He seems furthermore to have no scruples about making more requisitions of a friend who has already done much for him. What it means is that Antonio has already helped him so many times. Now, ideally, he should have had that much of self-respect that he would not go back to Antonio asking for money at a time when he himself doesn't have money. He's asking him to borrow money and give him. So it shows low of Bassanio's character. Yet, clearly Shakespeare does not intend us to level any harsh moral judgments at Bassanio. According to the Venetian and Elizabethan view, Bassanio is behaving as any young man his station might be expected to behave. This was the expected behavior of youngsters at that time. He is young, he is in love, and he is broke. Broke meaning? No money. The matter is that simple. Antonio's immediate reassurance to his old friend reminds us of the strong bond of friendship between the two men. Who have a strong bond of friendship? Which two men? Interestingly, neither of them seems to be unduly concerned about money at this point. One is a wealthy merchant and the other a carefree young lover. This is a quality which we shall notice throughout the play in connection with both Bassanio and Portia. Both of them recognize the necessity of money, but neither of them considers money to be of any value in itself. About whom are we talking? Bassanio and Portia. Underline this line. Both Bassanio and Portia, both of them recognize the necessity of money, but neither of them considers money to be any value in itself. In their world of romantic love and civilized civilization, they feel that they do not need to be unduly concerned with money. Shakespeare is setting up this point of view in contrast later with Shylock's diametrical point of view. What is Shylock's point of view about money? Likho. Bassanio and Portia are portrayed by Shakespeare as being characters who understand the necessity of money, yet who do not consider money of any value in itself. Full stop. Shakespeare presents Shylock as a completely opposite character for whom money means everything. In their world of romantic love and civilized civilization, they feel that they do not need to be unduly concerned with money. Shakespeare is setting up the point of view in contrast later with Shylock's diametric point of view. For Shylock, the money lender, money constitutes his only defense against his oppressors. Considering, okay, now you read, considering
again Bassanio's problem with money and Antonio's reaction to it, note that Bassanio is straightforward in this scene with Antonio. His request is made in pure innocence and we take it at its face value. Those critics who declare Bassanio read more into his blank and perfection of poverty and his attempt to borrow money than really there. We must recall that when Shakespeare wants to make us aware of some defect in one of his characters, he is always able to do it. So actually, the unconditional friendship of Antonio and Bassanio is one of the assumptions of the play and we must never question it.
So you will do the 3 passages for homework. Now come to volume 1. Page number 1. You have 5 types of essays for your syllabus. What are those 5 types? Which one?
Narrative.
Okay, one is narrative. What else? Descriptive. Argumentative. Which one? Reflective. Factual. मैं सोचूं सिलेबस जहाँ पे दिया है वहाँ पे कहीं भी दिया नहीं है all the 5 types. Literature में I have all the syllabus being written down language का किधर है syllabus? Anyway, if you come to page number 1, you can see the 5 types. See, 1 is narrative, 2 is descriptive, 3rd is argumentative or discursive, fourth is factual, and fifth is reflective. Is there anyone over here who already, because you have an option, you will have 5 essays, one of each type, and you have to choose one, correct? You know that? So is there anyone over here who has already decided, okay, ma'am, I am very good at narrative, so this is what I am going to do? No one? You? You? So what we are going to do through the month of May and June, I'll be giving you one essay for homework every time I meet, and it will cover all the 5 types. So by the end of June, before you hit your first unit test, you will be clear for yourself कि कौन सा essay आपका सबसे अच्छा आ रहा है. Because you see, come to page number 1. In page number 2, in the narrative essay, what is most important is that you follow a correct sequence, logical sequence. Narrative is almost like a story that you're telling. It has to be in the correct sequence of events. You can't say when I and my family went to Manali, so we used to go to Mall Road every evening and all that, and then suddenly start talking about when my 10th standard got over, so my family thought let us go somewhere. So that time we told dad that let's go to a cold place. You can't do that, you know. At the end of the essay, you can't start talking about, oh, but my dad had bought air tickets, which actually I wanted to drive by train. This is khichdi. It has to be the first the planning, then the booking of the tickets, then the packing of the bag, then the traveling to the place, then what you did in the place, then your return journey, and then what you felt about the trip. That is narrative. A correct sequence has to be followed. In descriptive, what happens is you have to describe in detail. So it will be more like visit to the zoo, visit to the museum, those type of things. It will not be a trip journey. So there is no sequence is not important. कि आपने chimpanzee का cage पहले describe किया, कि white Bengal tiger के बारे में पहले describe किया. That's not important. Any sequence can be followed, but you have to describe in detail. So whether you have a flair for writing things in the correct logic, or you have a flair for describing something in detail, we will find out. So first I wanted to read page number 1 to 6. And then raise your hand and let me know that you have finished. On page number 3, you have a sample narrative essay. Can you start reading? Who has to read now? You have to read? You start. The joy of being one's own.
I still remember I was in class 10 and we had gone for a picnic. Suddenly my friend Kaushal got a call from his sister that his parents had met with an accident. Kaushal was sequestered and did not know what to do. He has belonged to a lower middle class family. He did not have enough money to hire a cab and reach home fast. I assured Kaushal not to worry. I left the picnic in the middle. I took out whatever money I had in my saving account. I called a taxi and left on the spot where his parents had met with an accident. My friend Kaushal was the eldest in his family. He had two younger sisters. He was unable to make any decision as the unexpected tragedy had left him too shocked to react. Kaushal had very few relatives and most of them were unwilling to render any help. I called on my friends and requested them to render a helping hand at that time. Kaushal's parents were admitted in a hospital and the surgery could take place only after the required amount had been deposited. I called my father and explained him the situation. As he himself was a doctor, he reached the hospital and talked to other doctors about Kaushal's parents. Meanwhile, all my friends gave away not only their pocket money but also reserve money and an amount of 25,000 rupees was arranged. I brought some snacks and juice for Kaushal's and his and for his sister who were crying
Listlessly.
listlessly. The next 2 days were very crucial. Kaushal's father needs some blood which was voluntarily donated by my parents and the parents of my friends who had come there at the hospital. I didn't leave Kaushal's alone even for a minute. My mother took his sister and our home as well as there was nobody to look after them. After the surgery was done, Kaushal's parents survived and Kaushal could smile a little. In those days of need, I spent most of my time with Kaushal, reassuring him that everything was going to be alright. Kaushal till today remember that help. He had returned the money, but he says that he can never pay back the compensation and help given by me. My family and my friends, Kaushal's entire family treats me like their own son and loves me dearly. I feel very proud of myself.
Getting the idea of a narrative essay, it's almost like telling a story of an incident. Page number 10, question 1 will be for homework. Now let's see what is a descriptive essay. Pick up page number 10, question 1 of the practice exercise. Now come to page number 4. Let us see what is a descriptive essay. Describe an early morning walk through your city or town in winter. Give details of the smells, sights, sounds and feelings you experience. जब क्वेश्चन में ऐसा लिखा है तो हमको ये चारों पॉइंट्स को कवर करना है. Smell also, sound also, feeling also and sights also. Clank, clank, the sound of hoops on the metalled road, followed by someone bellowing. Aside, please, jolted me to my senses. I moved towards the pavement. What is a pavement? Footpath. सड़क के साइड में जो फुटपाथ होता है, that is a pavement. Underline pavement and write footpath. In the narrow street that wound its way steeply descending towards Malital on the other side of Nainital Lake. Wound down means it is going in circles. It's like a ghat. A thick fog hung around the valley below, which seemed to deny daybreak. The golden haze of the sun drifting through the fog, spreading its golden light on the lush green mountain slopes below mesmerized me. So what are we looking at over here? Lots of adjectives. Because we are describing. लिखो वहाँ पर page number 4 जहाँ लिखा है वहाँ लिखो. Lots of adjectives have to be used for a descriptive essay. The otherwise crowded street in the market below seemed to be gradually coming out of slumber. Slumber?
Sleeping.
Sleep. Underline slumber and write sleep. Porters with heavy baggage. Who are porters? Coolies. Porters with heavy baggage were shuffling on the street. People could be seen covered with woolen clothes. The spicy aroma of samosas and jalebis wafted. So you see in the question था ना, sights, smells, वो सब cover करना है. Through the air from a nearby roadside dhaba. The owner seemed to be doing brisk business. Brisk business means what? Good business, lots of customers. Serving tea and snacks to the tourists crowded around makeshift tables and chairs. Makeshift meaning temporary. The enthusiastic yelling of chai, chai by the attendant. So we are catering to sounds now. We finished catering to smells. Seemed an aberration to the otherwise serene surroundings. Serene means calm and silent. The newspaper hawkers with newspapers stacked on their bicycle raced on the street. Small shops selling milk and bread were also doing brisk business. Now before me was the famous Nainital lake. I sat on the bench facing the lake, which seemed to me extremely quiet and peaceful. When I'm reading this, तुम्हारे दिमाग में एक picture आ रही है where there is a bench, there is a lake, there is a person sitting there. So that is the idea of a descriptive essay. जो पढ़ता है उसके दिमाग में एक mental picture आनी चाहिए. तो यहाँ पे जहाँ पे पेज नंबर 4 लिखा है वहाँ पे लिखो reader should get mental pictures while reading this essay. The reader should get mental pictures while reading a descriptive essay. Peter, please continue.
Here the silence was broken by the flashing of waves striking shore. The mountains could be seen covered with snow. The ventilator of the sound of waves was short-lived by the shrill chirping of a flock of birds, which descended around the lake in search of prey. A gentle breeze brought with it an pungent smell of It's speculating on the next step. I decided to return home. By now, the sun had successfully pierced through the dense clouds, clearing the mist and fog. The streets had suddenly came to life. The honking of horns, whistling of quarters, and the trotting of mules on the streets had indeed heralded arrival of new day, begin with its new goods.
So has he gone on a morning walk or an evening walk? Morning walk. Now let us see what is an argumentative essay.
What is stagnated?
Staying there, not moving. Go through what is an argumentative essay in your mind. See if you want to ask for something. दोनों तो मैं भी वहां से बंद कर सकती हूँ ना नेक्स्ट टाइम. अच्छा ऐसा सब है क्या? मुझे लगा इधर कोई स्विच होगा, उधर से मैं बंद करूंगी तो बंद होगा. सब बच्चों को ठंड लग रही है. So argumentative essay, discuss both sides of the argument and give your opinion. This is the most important thing about an argumentative essay. तो पेज नंबर 5 पे लिख सकते हो, in an argumentative essay we have to give both the sides of the issue as well as our own opinion. समझ में आया? आर्ग्यूमेंटेटिव ऐसे में क्या करना है? स्टार्ट रीडिंग द सैंपल बेटा.
In some advanced countries, it is not unusual for more than 50%.
नहीं, पहले क्वेश्चन पढ़ो.
Okay. It is sometimes argued that too many students go to university, while others feel that the university education should be a universal right. Discuss both sides of the argument and give your own opinion. Answer. In some advanced countries, it is not unusual for more than 50% of young adults to attend college or university. Critics, however, claim that many university courses are worthless and young people would be better off gaining skills in the workplace. In this essay, I will examine both sides of this argument and try to reach a conclusion. There are several reasons why young people today believe they have the right to a university education. First, growing prosperity in many parts of the world has increased the number of families with money to invest in their children's future. At the same time, falling birth rates mean that one or two child families have become common, increasing the level of investment in each child. It is hardly surprising, therefore, that young people are willing to let their families support them until the age of 21 or 22. Furthermore, millions of new jobs have been created in knowledge industries, and these jobs are typically open only to university graduates. However, it often appears that graduates end up in occupations unrelated to the university studies. It is not uncommon for an English literature major to end up working in sales or an engineering graduate to retrain as a teacher. For example, some critics have suggested that young people are delaying their entry into the workplace rather than developing professional skills. A more serious problem is that the high cost of university education will mean that the families are reluctant to have more than one child, exacerbating the falling birth rates in certain countries. In conclusion, while it can be argued that too much emphasis is placed on university education, my own opinion is that the university years are a crucial time for personal development. If people enter the workplace age 18, their future options may be severely restricted. Attending university allows them time to learn more about themselves and make a more appropriate choice of career.
Now we have factual essay in which you have to write about a topic. Just you have to give all the information necessary in the right order, almost like writing the recipe of a dish. So if you are bad at English, then this is the essay for you. And reflective essay is more on personal topics, almost like writing a diary or about somebody's character or some subject matter which you have, like writing an autobiography. It is like that. Reflective essay. So we are doing question 1 for homework. Okay.
Number 7, right? Okay.
Page number 10, question 1. Now come to page number 40. Come to page number 42. Cover the answers and start doing the answers in your tuition book.
So question 2.
Question 2, page number 42. Done?
One question.
You can do the Prezi for homework, but otherwise it is done.
Then only last question.
Okay.
You have to make the grade.
Yeah, you have to make a grid. You have to have a draft first without a grid, and then you have to have a grid.
You have a grade and a fair grade.
Rough passage and fair grid.
So in school they told that we have
Rough
to
also
have
grid
a
and
fair also.
okay, then do that. Follow all the rules. So you see, every time there is going to be something like this. There is language also, composition also, MOV also, maybe there will be literature also, depending. So you have to get all your books, treasure trove also, and both the volumes also, and your tuition book also. Don't waste time. If you have finished, you start working on your pressing. You finished now? You finished now? Just open page number 54 and tell me, have you done this exercise? Volume 1. No? Maybe back now. When you finish your comprehension passage, you can see that the answers are given there. Compare your answers and see, do your answers match? Put a tick if your answer is right. Put a cross if your answer is wrong. Come to page number 54 and cover the answers. Who can tell me the first answer? Want to try?
He does his work. He does his work with intelligence.
Correct. Second,
I will progress.
correct. Third,
That is going to be interesting.
why? It's not a continuous tense.
Present continuous, no?
We feel that is interesting.
That's what I'm thinking कि ये going to डाल रहा है बीच में, present continuous है, तो interesting है ना already. The question is given in the future continuous tense and we are converting it into the present continuous tense. So only will be interesting will become is interesting. Going to be नहीं डालना है. ठीक है? Then fourth answer you give beta.
I do not allow this to happen.
I did not allow this to happen. Fifth answer you give beta.
My trip to USA is successful.
Okay. Sixth,
He will be working very hard.
seventh,
I have never released.
very good. Eighth, few. You know the answer? Good.
He will walk out the room without looking at it.
Okay, let's go to the next page, page number 56, 55, page number 55. Exercise B. Ready? First,
The taxi has vanished, taking my suitcase.
it is past perfect tense, not present perfect tense.
The taxi is vanished, taking my suitcase.
What? It's not continuous tense.
The taxi vanished, taking my suitcase.
Yes. नहीं, vanished is also simple past tense. अभी भी wrong है. हाँ बेटा, पूरा sentence बोलो.
Taxi had vanished.
Had vanished, past perfect tense. You want to try the second one?
Yes, ma'am. I had to step just out of the bathtub.
You're placing just in the wrong place.
I just had to step out of the bathtub.
I had just stepped out of the bathtub. Third,
She flung open her door.
correct. Fourth,
Clouds. On the
very good. Fifth,
It left us thinking.
very good. So you can do the practice exercise for homework, children. I've written it here. Please copy your homework. होमवर्क करके आना है नेक्स्ट टाइम और बुक्स भी बराबर से लेकर आना है और एक दो फ्रेंड्स भी लाओ क्लास थोड़ा सा बोरिंग होगा थोड़े और बच्चे रहेंगे ना तो भी फन ठीक है बाय